so today we're reviewing
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
So we already made a video about this a long time ago. We kind of gave grades. I gave it a 7.5, and you gave it a 7. It wasn't a normal movie review format. We were actually bashing John Campion. So yeah, we did this review already. That's why we had to mention it. We were kind of graded it, but it wasn't a normal format. So what was your overall thoughts of Star Wars: The Last Jedi?
Well, originally after watching this movie, I really had a decent time at the theater. I thought everything looked great about it. The cinematography and everything is just beautiful. There's nothing you can complain about that.
Yeah.
And the special effects were great. It was more so I was just very confused with story decisions, and as time's gone on, it's just gotten progressively worse. And it's not just because I've heard other people saying things. Other people that know more about Star Wars universe are able to explain it better than I am, and it really made my score on this movie drop drastically. Just because it's just because of the impact this movie had on so many different things. It single-handedly screwed so many different things, and we'll see how it does in the next one, when it comes out in a couple of days. But I just really, this movie, I still would say I'd watch if it was on TV, but just to see certain things out a little bit more, because we saw it 2 or 3 times in theater, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
and
I did.
It was just, I don't know. It wasn't, once again, it wasn't the acting. The acting was fine. It's not the special. It's more so. This is the one situation where it's the storyline and what decisions they make for certain characters, and we can't really get into too much detail. It's a quick review, but there's, let's just say, a lot of plot holes, a lot of just things that just it's like they made this movie without thinking about the greater universe, what happened before it or what's gonna happen after it. Instead, it just effed up so many different things. I could go in. We could go on for hours about how many things they screwed up. But yeah, that's what I would have to say about this movie.
Yeah, I definitely walked out of this theater happy. I thought I was happy walking out of this movie, but yeah, the rewatchability thing is not very good. There are certain things in this movie that you just think about that they're fine, but you think about how much better it could have been. And people are saying you just didn't like how it went. Well, yeah, we didn't like how it went.
Yeah.
I mean, that's called a movie. You like what you see or you don't. And you could have done a really cool route with a lot of things. And obviously, one thing we can all agree about is the Finn Rose storyline. Everyone agrees that scene.
Even the people that liked the movie thought that was really just. With those 30 minutes, I'm not just stealing this from Angry Joe. This is just what everyone thinks. I feel like not what most people think. But those however many minutes, 15, 20 minutes they had with Finn and Rose total in that film, probably more than that. You could have given us 20 minutes, or not even just with those 20 minutes, just done actually an actual training sequence of Rey with Luke. That would have been so impactful to show her growing as a Jedi and learning from one of the best Jedis I thought in the world, but apparently not. And you could have done so many different things with that storyline, or even show a backstory of Kylo being trained by Luke and then being trained by Snoke. I mean, there's just so many things they could have done, and the fact that they shoehorned that character in there for no reason at all. And there was a reason to push some stupid agendas, and it was just really just horrible part of that movie, and it really stuck out. I mean, I think we complained about it then, but we thought there was enough. We enjoy watching Rey, we enjoy watching Finn, we enjoy watching all these characters we cared about in Force Awakens, because Force Awakens was great in my opinion, and it started up. It gave so many avenues to take this thing, and instead, I'm not gonna buy this argument where oh, just because it was they did something that we didn't expect. Yeah, you're right, but that doesn't mean we're gonna like it. When you set up so many storylines and you just say, no, sorry, that's not a cool storyline. No, Snoke's not a big villain. No, you're not going to see a fight. No, you're not going to see this. It's just I'm not going to be happy about that. I can understand people if they are happy about being underwhelmed and having things not happen like it's supposed to be. You can like that if you want, but I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the main things that bother me about this movie were definitely the things when I'm trying to watch it back now is the training aspect that. There's no character development, especially with the main character. I don't know how you're supposed to get behind a character, especially fighting next to someone like Kylo who's trained by powerful people. And the fact that Rey's able to fight with no training, it really ruins the movie for me. Because, I mean, how can you get behind a character fighting these top guards when she's had no training herself? You just can't get behind it, and it really, really bothers me the more I watch it. And yeah, certain things like what they did with Luke's character. I know how someone can like this movie, but how you can... I just don't understand how you could appreciate no character development in a main character, especially like Rey, who didn't fight, who didn't have any training. How do you have zero training in a movie, not even seen, but even discussed remotely about, and be able to fight these characters, and you're still able to get behind her just because she's the main character? It's BS. I mean,
yeah, I feel like it's also important. Like, we can understand how people could like this movie, but I really don't understand how people think, how they can't understand why people maybe didn't like this movie. Like, for people to be flipping off people.
And I'm in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause I don't hate this movie. Like,
no.
I'm just frustrated with the decisions they made. I wanted to like this movie. I mean, I still gave it an above average score, which we'll see in our updated scores. But I mean, I just don't understand why people think that like it's so ridiculous. People would be really mad about this movie, especially for hardcore fans. I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan.
No.
Like, we watch Star Wars movies, but I can only imagine people that are hardcore Star Wars fans and they follow all these storylines. Like, I trust real Star Wars fans. Like, Angry Joe really seems like he knows what he's talking about. Like, there's people that care about Star Wars because they grew up with it. I didn't grow up with it, and for them to be that mad, they're mad for a reason. Like, there's certain things, like there's just Holdo. We haven't got into that storyline.
It's hard to talk about this movie in under an hour.
It's too hard. And I think about what you were saying about Rey. Like, I feel like I like Rey more than you do a little bit.
I still like her character.
Like, because it's important to note that she's still a likable character. Like, it's not even they've given her layers, unlike Captain Marvel, which we don't have the Blu-ray for. Like it's nowhere near there. Like, I still like Rey's had rough moments. Like, yeah, she is very capable and like strong with the Force, which I was able to get behind.
Yeah.
As long as you gave us a real reason, which they haven't given us a reason. All they've said is like she just randomly. They've not even given us a reason why she has the Force yet, which is kind of frustrating. If they would have said she's like the daughter of Luke or the daughter of someone, I could get behind it. Like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay,
but the fighting just seems
like,
suddenly good.
She's shown like she shows like a human side, which is why I liked her character. Because you saw her in the first one on some desert planet, like earning stuff like that. Like, it gave her a backstory. She's a great character. I think there's just a lot of things that they could make her even better. Instead, they're giving us reasons to like dislike. They're not giving her the storyline that could be so impactful and like so much better. They're giving it's just a horrible storyline. It's just there's just so many things they could grow onto it.
Like, literally, if they would have shown Rey training in this movie less than 5 minutes, I have no problem with their character. Seriously, that is it. If I see 5 minutes of training, I have zero problem with her character. Seriously, that is the only problem I have. I have no problem with her fighting the Petrolean guards and winning and stuff. I don't have a problem with that at all. Just show a little bit of training, like Luke in Star Wars. He gets trained by Yoda, and that's how he's a good fighter. It makes sense. Just show a little bit of training, at least hint towards it.
I mean, the training stuff we've got into a lot. I feel like one other thing we didn't talk about that we can just hit on really quick is the ending, which this is the point where I think we could have really drastically changed our opinions on the movie. When Luke shows up in front of all these things, and you're like, wow, like this could be an epic scene if he fights off Kylo in a real fight. It does all this stuff, but then you realize he's not there. It just, in my opinion, that made the scene worthless, in my opinion, because it wasn't cool anymore because he wasn't there. He could have been shot.
Shooting
like, it was so cool thinking he was like using a force field or like blocking all those shots, but the fact that he wasn't there, it makes him out to be like a wimp almost. Like, he couldn't show up to help him out, and then he dies afterwards. If you're a Luke fan, like, I'm not a big Luke Skywalker. I don't dislike him. I'm not a big fan. Like, I'm not into the Star Wars movies, but if you're a Luke Skywalker fan, you gotta feel so frustrated and like upset because like he went out like a like a wimp there, not showing up, not to see his sister or like to like go there and actually. The whole point of him going to the island was pointless and pretty stupid as far as his character goes. We haven't even talked about Kylo or Snoke. That whole storyline was. I still like Kylo, but I would have rather had Snoke been the big bad and had Kylo shift back over. But even though I really would want Kylo to shift over now because he's already killed his father. So at that point, he needed to go full bad. But instead, this movie... See, I feel like The Force Awakens set it up to where he was going to turn full bad. It did. He killed his father. He got out of there. He was all bad. But then the second one, he's all conflicted again. Like, no. Like, you're not conflicted anymore. You should be... If you kill your father, you kill Han Solo, a light character, then you're bad. You can't come back from that. So... The whole fact that they came back and made him this conflicted character again, now he's like, he wants to be with Rey and all that stuff. I guess he is like, it's not good. And I really, I'm hearing rumors. I don't want to give anything away, but like if he turns good, it's like, who are they fighting? Which I guess we know who they're fighting, but
yeah.
they just effed up this stuff so much, and it's just so frustrating because they could have had Kylo Ben the big bad, but they've already effed that up because they had him go back. He's both.
I admit though, Kylo was a lot better in this film than the first one. That's what I had to say. I think he's a lot better in this one.
I thought he was
as far as his acting as in the first one, because the first one he takes his helmet off, he looks so intimidating. That's the only face we've seen. Once you see that face, I think it just took a little time getting used to it. He looked like he just came out of a spa. That's why I couldn't buy him being threatening. But he was a lot better as far as his acting goes in this one. Obviously, he's screaming.
No, I'm not talking about the acting. His acting's been fine. In my opinion, the whole time. I'm just saying, like, I just think he's been the same character throughout both. Like the first one, he was this young, immature, pouting villain. And the second one, he's still going freaking thing we put in the last one. But it's like he's still the same guy, in my opinion. Like you really effed up. Now in the trailer for the next one, it looks like he has a couple boss walks, but he's had a boss scene in both movies. But
hopefully he's actually a boss.
We're optimistic. We're going with an open mind, hoping that they can maybe save this thing in art for us at least, and we'll let you guys know what we think when we see it. We're gonna see it late Thursday night, probably.
You're seeing this the Wednesday before, so we'll be seeing this tomorrow morning for you guys that are watching it.
Yeah, so definitely let us know down in the comments what you guys. Let's give our score real quick. So our score of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, in my opinion, originally I guess you said mine was a 7.
I think you gave it a 7.
This is, in my opinion, just because of the impact this movie had and how many things negative came from this thing and possibly ruined so many things. I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10. 5 is right. 5 for me is average, and it's an average movie because everything's exceptional about it, but there's just the storyline aspect and how many things they do in this movie are so bad, and like in my opinion, and how many like the negative impact it has going forward that it has to be a 5 in my opinion. Like that's what I'm giving this movie. I mean,
I think walking out of this movie, I definitely was happy. It's gotten a lot worse since then. I gave it a 7.5 at that review, which that was like a day after watching it, I guess. And yeah, for me, see, it's like a letter grade. And I have to say, I think I'd have to give this a 6 now looking at it.
It's one higher than me.
A 60% on a grade is not good.
Hey,
but
once again,
like I said, and like you just said, the visuals are top notch. There's no denying that.
And the acting's top notch.
The acting is top notch. Well, here, let me just come back. Yeah. But the acting is top notch. The visuals are top notch. And the fighting. See, I really did like the fighting. Although looking back, there are a lot of errors, and it's kind of hard to watch it. And the whole training thing ruins those action scenes. So really, and then the Luke thing was cool, but then it wasn't. So there is a lot of baggage that comes with this movie. So I mean, I think that and then the Holdo thing was just completely unnecessary. They kill Admiral Akbar like nothing. There are a lot of flaws. And that's why anyone that acts like there's not flaws in this movie. I mean, you cannot act like you understand where people are coming from. There's a lot of things that people are angry about that are reasonable, and if someone likes it, that's great. I mean, I think it's all right, but a 6 out of 10. I mean, looking back at it now, I have to give it a 6. There's some things to like about it. There's some things I liked about it, but it's definitely gotten worse since it's gone along.
To explain why I'm at a 5 is because the special effects, like acting, except for one person, and just everything, just a lot. Most things about it are like probably out of 9 or 10 out of 10. But the storyline, the baggage, the decisions they make are so bad that it evens it out, in my opinion, because all this stuff that was high is less enjoyable because of how impactful and negative this stuff is, and that's where I'm at. Like, the stuff that was so high is enough to keep it right in the middle for me. And once again, we'll explain our scoring things in a separate video. We'll each do a separate video talking about our scoring things. So
we wanted to keep this at 5, but it's impossible.
Yeah, this could have been 2 hours long. But yeah, no, if you guys are watching this or Angry Joe, we would love to do a live stream talking about this because you guys know much more than we do, and we like to hear your opinions and you guys hear ours. So thanks for watching this quick review of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And next up will be Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
so tomorrow 2 days. Yeah, tomorrow by the time you're watching this video. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.